The following situation unfolds on a dirt road near an area of intense fighting. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone observes 3 Russian soldiers gathered near a small forward position. One soldier appears to have come from a nearby base to meet 2 others who have just arrived after a long movement. The 2 newcomers look exhausted, breathing heavily as they exchange brief greetings and embraces. For several moments, the group remains focused on conversation, unaware that they are being watched from above. As the soldiers begin to separate and prepare to move on, a Ukrainian drone is already approaching the location. When the sound of the engine becomes audible, the soldiers finally look up and attempt to react. One begins to raise his weapon, but the response comes too late. The drone closes the distance rapidly and commits, neutralizing the group under sustained aerial control before they can disperse or seek cover. The scene unfolds near a forest edge in the Pokrovsk direction. A Ukrainian reconnaissance drone identifies a Russian soldier assigned to guard a small makeshift shelter beside an underground dugout. As the soldier looks up, he seems to notice movement above. The realization comes too late. Within seconds, the drone releases ammunition directly onto the shelter. The structure collapses. The soldier is thrown to the ground, wounded but still conscious. From above, the drone maintains steady observation, holding altitude and watching closely. The injured soldier struggles to rise but cannot. Instead, he begins crawling toward the dugout entrance nearby, dragging himself across the dirt. With visible urgency, he reaches for his radio, attempting to call for help. Moments later, another Russian soldier appears at the dugout entrance. He pauses, looks upward, and freezes. The drone remains overhead. Fear overrides instinct. Rather than assisting the wounded man, he retreats back into the shelter. A short time passes. A third soldier approaches the entrance, carrying a medical kit. He stops, hesitates, and repeatedly glances toward the sky. He appears to consider throwing the kit forward, but instead begins opening it slowly, deliberately, as if staging a distraction. The drone does not move. Suddenly, the soldier abandons the act. He lunges forward, grabs the radio from the wounded man, and immediately withdraws into the dugout. Only then does the injured soldier manage to force himself upright and disappear inside after him. The drone shifts focus. Fuel containers sit near the entrance. The munition drops. Flames follow. The entrance is engulfed, sealing the position. From above, the drone continues to watch. The following operation takes place in the Pokrovsk direction, where a Ukrainian drone identifies a concealed Russian supply site. From above, the drone focuses on a generator positioned near the storage area, a key element supporting the location. Within moments, ammunition is released, disabling the generator and igniting a fire that begins to spread across the site. Nearby, the drone redirects toward the entrance of an underground shelter. A second munition is deployed at the opening, and flames quickly appear around the entrance, forcing activity inside to stop. Seconds later, several Russian soldiers rush out of the shelter in visible confusion, attempting to distance themselves from the fire. Maintaining aerial observation, the drone then shifts attention to a fuel container and ammunition cache, left exposed along the roadside, likely staged for later transport. The sequence highlights how aerial reconnaissance and precise timing allow Ukrainian drone teams to disrupt logistics, energy supply, and shelter simultaneously under continuous observation. The following situation is recorded by a Ukrainian drone after completing a mission near a bus stop in the Pokrovsk direction. Earlier intelligence reports indicated that 2 Russian soldiers were occupying the structure. A Ukrainian drone is dispatched to the location and approaches at low altitude. As it nears the bus stop, one soldier breaks away and moves behind a nearby wall for cover. The drone enters the bus stop area, prompting both soldiers to flee into the open. Their movement is immediately tracked from above, and the drone commits as the attempt to escape collapses under direct aerial observation. The following sequence unfolds inside a village where a Russian patrol is moving between damaged structures. A Ukrainian drone detects the group and initiates observation. As the first soldiers are engaged, another individual appears near a line of trees at the edge of the village and is immediately tracked. Moments later, two more soldiers move through the area. One attempts to escape by entering a nearby house, while the other presses against a wall, hoping to remain unseen. Both movements are quickly identified from above. As the situation develops, additional Russian soldiers are observed relocating and attempting to hide among buildings, walls, and debris scattered throughout the village. Ukrainian drones maintain continuous aerial coverage, adjusting focus as new movement appears. One by one, each exposed position is engaged, demonstrating how dispersed movement and improvised concealment provide little protection once aerial surveillance establishes full situational control over the area. The next situation unfolds on open ground in the Pokrovsk direction. A Ukrainian drone conducts a terrain sweep when it passes over a narrow path and detects two Russian soldiers moving below. The drone immediately turns back and begins its approach. Noticing the aircraft, the soldiers panic and split up. One runs into dense vegetation, while the other heads into open terrain in the opposite direction. The drone selects the exposed route, closes the distance, and commits, demonstrating how open ground offers little protection once aerial tracking is established. The following situation unfolds deep within a forested area near the heavily contested Pokrovsk sector. A Ukrainian drone detects subtle movement beneath a recently collapsed dugout. After closer observation, the drone confirms that the figure trapped inside is a Ukrainian soldier who had been caught in the collapse earlier. The position is immediately relayed to nearby friendly forces. A Ukrainian soldier quickly moves to the location and begins a careful rescue. With assistance, the trapped soldier is pulled free from the damaged shelter. Despite the incident, his injuries appear minor, and he is able to move with support. His teammate helps stabilize him and escorts him back toward a safer area for medical treatment. The footage highlights how aerial surveillance can also play a critical role in search, rescue, and battlefield awareness beyond combat operations. The following attack takes place near a line of trees along a roadside. A Ukrainian FPV drone flies at low altitude, conducting a careful sweep after reconnaissance reports indicate the presence of a Russian soldier in the area. After several passes, the drone locates the soldier resting beneath a fallen tree, partially shielded by branches and shadows. As the drone closes in, the soldier suddenly sits up and reaches for a weapon lying nearby, attempting to drive the aircraft away. The drone immediately climbs to avoid incoming fire, maintaining distance while reassessing the situation from above. Once the threat is evaluated and the position remains exposed, the FPV drone descends again and commits to a second approach. The sequence illustrates how brief reactions and improvised responses offer limited protection once aerial tracking has already established control over the position. A Ukrainian drone patrol detects a concealed dugout with a single Russian soldier hiding inside. After confirming movement, the drone descends and enters the shelter, delivering a precise strike. The soldier survives the initial impact and crawls back out, collapsing at the dugout entrance and attempting to stay low. He remains exposed from above. A second drone arrives and reassesses the scene. Moments later, it releases a grenade that lands near the soldier's position. The sequence highlights how layered drone coordination prevents recovery after the first strike and denies any chance to regroup or escape. The following event is recorded by a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone in the city of Kupiansk. After confirming that a multi-story building had been occupied by Russian forces earlier, Ukrainian infantry units begin a coordinated approach. The initial contact starts from the lower levels, where light weapons are used to apply pressure from the basement upward. As resistance is identified on higher floors, heavier Ukrainian drones are deployed to target fortified positions above, disrupting defensive lines and limiting movement inside the structure. With upper positions neutralized, Ukrainian soldiers advance methodically floor by floor, clearing the building from the bottom up. The operation concludes with full control of the structure restored. At the final stage, Ukrainian forces raise their flag on the highest level, marking the successful retaking of the position under coordinated ground and aerial support.